What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. You are listening to Mouse Park Insider.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination?
Hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
The wheels may be needing a little work.
Dead men tell no tales.
Oh, look at those people.
Here for the big race, huh? It's gonna be fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As you know, I'm Tony, here with my wife, Dani.
And I'm Dani. I wasn't sure if what we were doing here, if I was introducing myself or you're introducing me.
I felt like we've had a few new listeners, and I felt like we should just kind of reintroduce ourselves.
Yes.
Maybe.
Sure.
You know?
Like our names, and that's about it, because we're not going to bore everybody with all the details.
We're just another, just Disney couple with the podcast.
And it's been a while. So we've been gone for about 2 months almost since our last episode.
Has it been that long?
Granted, I do not, dedicate any particular amount of time between episodes because I know better. I know better. However, I was listening to our last episode and you said, next week we're going to have a list, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ooh, Tony made a false promise.
Yeah, so we did make a false promise, but there has been
No, not we. You.
I made a false promise.
Thank you.
I'm a bad person. No, a lot of shit came up.
So much. Oh my gosh.
I thought we were back to normal so we could record every week, and then just out of nowhere, boom!
Everything
happened.
Everything but nothing.
I had to go to California twice for work.
Yep.
We got a puppy.
We did. We got this crazy cat lady got a corgi puppy, believe it or not. However,
Yes.
I am still a cat lady first and foremost. There is no doubt about that. But he's adorable. His name is Archie, and Jackson loves him.
Yes. If you hear little footsteps
That's
while
what
we're
it
recording
is.
this podcast,
It's
our-
Archie running
our
around.
Wonderful corgi whose squeaky bark I'm sure you'll hear, and you'll hear his footsteps, and you'll hear me yelling, Archie, no, don't shit in the house. So you will hear all of that.
And then you'll hear me yelling at Tony for yelling at the dog.
Yes.
And then Jackson got his first ear infection, his first actual sickness that we had to take him to the doctor. That was more than just a little cold. And that was misery in this entire household. I had a work conference that I was at for a few days. So it was just one thing after the next. And anytime we had a week where it was we can record, we just vegged out on the couch and drank wine.
Or we ordered Mexican food and watched 90 Day Fiance.
Let's be honest.
We didn't veg out.
But that is vegging out, just sitting on the couch watching TV.
We are vegetarian, so we did eat veggies in our
my God.
burritos. So it is kind of vegging out. You are right.
Oh my God. Anyway, so we are back with an episode at least. We did not leave you for, a huge hiatus.
Half a year like we did
If
last
not
time.
more. But we're still here. We're still planning on recording. It's just, when stuff comes up in life, life happens. But we're here for your entertainment as often as we can be. So that's about it.
And hey, before we get into the news, if you can, please pause, rate, review the podcast. It really helps the podcast grow so more awesome Disney nerds like yourselves can come out, listen to us, and we can all nerd out together.
Yeah, I gotta say, so we get weekly updates, stats of our podcast downloads. I think on iTunes right now, or is it even iTunes anymore? Oh my God, I'm aging myself. It's Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, we have 43 reviews or something like that. We have not recorded, mind you, in 2 months, and we had vastly multiples of that number of downloads just last week alone, way more than 43 times a lot. And it was interesting, because y'all don't leave us reviews, so how are we supposed to know you're out there?
We're not asking for money. We're not asking for a
Yeah, don't
handout.
send me money. I'm good.
Just
I got a
give us-
job.
Give us some kind words,
Kind words. Just boost our egos a little bit.
Help us out. It's been a rough week. I'd appreciate it.
We're on our second glass of wine right now. We'll see where the night goes. It might get a little crazy.
I've been really into Moscow mules lately.
You
And
have. Like,
that's
we've
not
got a bottle of vodka in the house. When's the last time we had a bottle of vodka in the house?
When's the last time we had like a bottle of liquor in the house?
I
Like,
don't know because I don't really drink
I even
liquor.
like got like the nice copper glass to make it nice and cold.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that actually looks really cheap and you probably spent like $25 on it.
It was 15.
Okay, that's fine then because I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is ugly.
It was at the grocery store. It was there. I looked for it.
I know.
I love Moscow mules. It's my new drink of choice.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here drinking my wine, like whatever. And Tony had to steal some of my wine tonight, but that's okay. And I realize I say, oh, we're on our second glass, and people are probably like, that's nothing. We're parents. We don't go out. We have no life. We have a 19-month-old.
It is a Monday night, by the way.
It's a Monday night.
Oh, and it is Disneyland's birthday.
Oh, it is. Happy birthday, Disneyland.
Happy birthday. I'm
we
sure
love you.
You did the same thing. You had Mickey out on a Main Street
cavalcade.
car.
Yep.
And,
Yep, they sure did.
Didn't watch it, but
It's the 68th. I mean, what are you going to do? 69th might get a little weird.
70th will be cool.
I was thinking, like, I really hope that I'm around for the 100th and that we can go. Like, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're here for 100 years of Disney, like the Walt Disney Company, but I want to be here for 100 years of Disneyland. And really, that's only asking for 32 more years. That's not a whole
32.
lot.
How old will I be? 36.
You're going to be
68?
68. You should still be around. I would like to really, let's push it and go for 150.
We can do I can probably do like
120.
120.
Well, I hope I outlive you then, because I want to live forever.
Yeah.
I've got Peter Pan syndrome. I never want to grow up. However, here I am,
I know.
grown up.
Oh, yeah. I could probably get to 110. All right.
I'll be in bed by 9 o'clock.
All right. News. Let's go.
Okay, so we got some news for the week. Bob Iger. We all love Bob Iger, right? How long ago was it that he was supposed to leave as CEO and he was like, I'm retiring. Peace out, y'all. I might go into politics. I might do this. I might do that. Well, he came back to Disney, right? We all know that. Mm-hmm. Now he's going to be staying for even longer. He is extending his stay until December 31st, 2026. So this is an extra 2 years on Bob Iger's contract to remain CEO of the Walt Disney Company. This was a unanimous vote from the board of directors. Like, everybody loves Bob Iger. So I guess we're going to see what he does for another couple years. I kind of feel like things are just going to remain stagnant. I love Bob Iger. Don't come at me. I don't want you in my mentions. But it's like, let's do something else. The guy needs to just retire. He wanted to retire. Just go. Bye-bye.
I was a Chapek fan. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was a Chapek fan, but I didn't hate him like everybody does.
I didn't hate him.
I didn't hate him.
Bob Iger, he's just the guy. He's just, he's the uncle that eats the weird stuff at the cookout that no one else will touch. You don't think that's Iger?
No.
Not at all?
No.
That's like, he's not there yet, but I think like he's starting to get to that guy.
Interesting.
Like, there's a cookout. The spread's like hot dogs and potato salad.
And he's like, here's my quiche.
He eats a little bit of a quiche. He's not there yet. He's not quiche level yet, but he's like a weird condiments guy. Like, he's definitely putting mayonnaise on his hot dogs right now.
Ew, no.
I do think Iger puts mayonnaise on his hot dog.
You take that back.
He just reminds me of that guy that would.
Those are fighting words.
He's a mayonnaise hot dog guy.
Ew.
No
Anyways.
offense to anyone that does it. A lot of people do it.
A lot of offense to people who like mayo.
Iger is just becoming that guy. And if you're that guy, then you're Bob Iger, so it's cool.
I mean, yeah. Suddenly mayo became really cool. Mouse Park Insider told you so. All right, so moving on from that. Oogie Boogie Bash. I realized that this was a couple of weeks ago at this point, but how many times has Disney, whether it is Shop Disney, it is Disneyland, it is Disney World, having some kind of tickets go on sale, annual passes, magic keys, where there are technical difficulties, you are left in the waiting room forever, and they just can't figure their ish out. How much money is this company worth that they cannot invest in their frickin' IT and their web development? Anyways, Oogie Boogie Bash was no different. So these sales, Oogie Boogie Bash, if you don't know, welcome to the show, first off. But Oogie Boogie Bash is like that Halloween event at Disney California Adventure over in Anaheim. Fantastic. We go every year except last year and this year. So sales initially started on July 6th. However, they had to actually pause the sales, like just say, we're not doing any more sales today because of technical difficulties. Like, I don't know, Tony, do you recall any time that technical difficulties completely paused sale for several days? Because I can't.
No, this is the first time. I don't care anymore.
Well, good for you. I do.
I'm so used to this happening. Whenever Disney sells anything, like it's always just this crazy line of just people in waiting rooms, people stressed out on Instagram, taking photos of what place they are in line, commenting on other people. What time did you log in at?
I have 4 hours and 55 minutes to go.
What time did you log in? Oh, 3 hours, 56 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay. All right. What place in line are you?
Right.
It's just like, oh my gosh.
But you would think that a company of this size and this magnitude would have had all of these issues happen over and over and over again and been like, maybe we should figure something out. But they haven't. Anyway, okay, so July 6th went on sale, had to pause because of technical difficulties, went back on sale again 5 days later on July 11th, completely sold out. The event completely sold out that day, which is a first for Oogie Boogie Bash. It has sold out in the past, obviously, but never on like the same day of sales.
Tickets, yeah, the ticket sale day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
showing. Oh, you're already yawning. Am
Oogie
I boring
Boogie
you?
Bash. No. It's been a long day. It's been a long month. Oogie Boogie Bash is just, it's the highlight. People from all over the country want to go. Like, I feel like it's bigger than the one they have in Florida, Mickey's Not So Halloween or Spooky.
Oh, I think it's better for sure.
It's huge. It's the party that everyone wants to go to. It's the big Halloween celebration, I think, for all theme park lovers, unless you're like a big like slasher horror fan, then of course you go to Universal. But I do think everyone, at least like big theme park people that, you know, don't have kids or do have kids, I think they try to hit up both those parks during the Halloween season for sure.
What age do you think a child has to be that you would want to take him to Universal? Because that stuff can get pretty scary.
Now?
No.
2?
Jackson, you're 19 months old. Put on your big boy pants. We're going to this Michael maze.
I think he'd be fine. Oh my God. Our kid's wild. I think he'd be okay.
Like, I know I went in like junior high and that was fine. So
I think middle school.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
like 6th grade.
Okay, 6th grade. That's fine.
Like
that's right.
11,
You did middle school. I did junior high.
11, 12.
That's fair. Anyway, so there's that. And then we've got a bunch of Haunted Mansion moves. Haunted Mansion news. Keeping on that Halloween-ish type theme, I suppose. I don't know about the validity of this, so don't come at me. Again, don't want you in my mentions. Haunted Mansion is closing at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, August 7th through 9th. Short little refurb, right? Nobody knows what's happening. However, there is a rumor that the Hatbox Ghost will be added to Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom during that time. What do you think about this, Tony?
I don't think anything. I mean, they announced the Hatbox Ghost almost a year ago. I'm surprised it's not there yet. I think we will be getting a different version than we have at Disneyland. I think it's going to look more like the film.
For sure, I agree.
The Jared Leto film. Probably not, actually, but I'm hoping I'm right so I can say I was right. Just because they're releasing it a week after, or they're going to reopen like a week or two after the movie comes out. I hear Jared Leto is a great Hatbox Ghost character, and it would just make it a little teeny bit different. I mean, from the trailer, the Hatbox Ghost almost looks like the one at Disneyland, just a little different. Yeah. So I do think maybe they were trying to design one that looks kind of like
similar,
the Jared Leto one from the movie.
Yeah, and can I just say Jared Leto was one of my very first crushes. My so-called life, Jordan Catalano. Anyways.
Mine too.
Oh, God.
32nd to Mars? Oh, baby.
Okay, no, that was several years later. That was decades later.
Oh, yeah. Requiem for a Dream?
Anyway.
Gosh. Oh.
It makes sense with the timing of everything. Kind of piggybacking off of your comment that you think that it's going to look more like the film, I agree with you, because I do have a friend whose parent was working on building the set of Haunted Mansion, the movie. And supposedly, I mean, my friend told me this, that the Disney execs came and they were like blown away with the set, that they were like, thinking about ways that they could incorporate the movie into the ride and kind of switch up the ride to look a bit more like the movie, which at first I'm like, whoa. Do not touch my Haunted Mansion. However, if it's like elements like this, okay, I can get on board. That makes sense to me. You're not going to totally gut a, an epic, just like historical ride, but you will update it to include things kind of like they did with Pirates, where they included Johnny Depp, right? Jack Sparrow. So I do think that is absolutely like a valid, thing to think. I agree with you.
Do you want to see the movie?
I do, yes. So I got to be honest, I never saw the Eddie Murphy. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me today?
Well, it's your second glass of wine.
Guys.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. I've never seen the Eddie Murphy version. I think that I probably need to, just because, so that I can compare and contrast. I know that they're not going to be like anything alike.
No, not at all.
But now I just kind of feel like I need to see it because I haven't seen it. But yeah, I do want to see the movie. If we were able to go to the movie theaters, I don't think that it would be something I'd be dying to go opening night for necessarily, but I would go eventually, like on a Sunday morning when it's not crowded kind of thing.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be Pirates of the Caribbean level.
No.
I do.
I
think this movie will make more money than any other movie this summer. I think it is going to be a hit that
what
not
else
enough
is coming
people are
out
talking
this
about.
summer?
That's
like
we're already
big.
halfway through it. Like
Barbie's coming out.
Mission Impossible, a bunch of other movies.
I hate Mission Impossible. Anyways,
What? We watched all of them. We loved them.
I did not love them. I thought that they were stupid. We watched them all through COVID when there was nothing to watch. And it was one of those things where it's like, I know what to expect, so I won't be disappointed because I'm already going in disappointed. I'm not a big action film person. And I hate Tom Cruise. Not a fan.
Oh.
Not a fan.
Gee whiz. Wow.
Anyways, yeah, so I mean, sure, I want to see it, absolutely. Anyways, moving on to more Haunted Mansion news. Disneyland, of course, we get our Haunted Mansion closure every year so that it can transform into the perfect holiday ride, Nightmare Before Christmas. So that will be closing August 14th, reopening September 1st. I'm excited for it, like I always am. I love this overlay. I'm sorry. I know that I love Haunted Mansion. I know that there are Haunted Mansion stands out there that are like, don't touch my ride. Please touch it every fall. Please touch it.
Please caress it. Treat it gently. Treat it like the most beautiful lady or man that you have just ever been able to just touch. Haunted Mansion overlay, excited for it like every year. Nothing news or shocking, but we are excited for it. Jackson's never been on the regular Haunted Mansion. He's only been on the overlay.
That's true, and he loves Jack Skellington. He's only seen Nightmare Before Christmas probably once, maybe twice in his life, and it was a long time ago. It's not like he remembers it. But he loves Jack Skellington, and we have this giant stuffed animal Jack Skellington that every time he sees it, his face just lights up, and he loves to cuddle with it and clap its hands together, and it's great. So
I am very excited for him to experience it this year because he is just so much more aware.
Holy moly, he is.
And
they grow so fast. I hated people that said that, but oh my God, it's true.
He's ready for the rides, and he's tall.
He's very advanced. He's the size of a 3-year-old, literally. At his 18-month appointment, he was already 36 inches, and he's already grown since.
2 more inches, he can go on Millennium Falcon, and I'm going to make him pilot it. I don't care if it's too much pressure for him.
Oh my God, gosh, Tony.
I just want to see
No.
everyone else get really ticked off on the ride, just him crashing into everything.
He's going to be sitting on someone's lap, I'm sure.
Wow, he's tall enough. He doesn't have to sit
my
on
God,
anyone's
that's
lap. In
crazy.
2 more inches, he can just buckle
By
himself
the time
in.
that we're at Disney World, he'll be able to go on Big Thunder for sure.
Yeah, we're going Big Thunder beginning next year. He'll be like not even 2.5 yet, and he's gonna be able to go on Big Thunder and all those
Not
rides.
even 2.5. He's going to be barely turned 2, freshly turned 2, and he can go on these big people roller coasters. I don't know. We'll see how we feel about that at the time. But anyway,
back to the news.
More Haunted Mansion news. Last
Oh
bit,
my
I swear.
gosh.
The last bit. The premiere took place this last weekend on July 15th. Of course, there's the SAG strike going on, so that prevented film cast from actually attending the premiere. So instead, they turned it into a D23 Gold member and fan event. So, D23 members got to go and attend and walk the red carpet and watch the movie. And I'm sure they probably had to pay for any kind of food that they wanted because they're not going to
They
get that
handed
for
out
free.
free candy.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I'm not sure. I did see a couple people post the the ticket, and you're allowed to enjoy Disneyland or DCA after without paying for a ticket. You could just be a D23 member. Then after the movie, you could have just hung out at Disney or DCA.
That's cool. Usually you don't get free stuff at Disney, so I'll take it. So of course the red carpet was at the Hyperion at DCA. And instead of, the film people being there and actors and actresses attending, they did have characters from the Haunted Mansion ride at the red carpet. So they had the tightrope walker. They had the bride. They had, not from the ride, but they had Mickey and Minnie in Haunted Mansion apparel, and they looked adorable, so cute. They had Disney villains walking the carpet, like Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, the Evil Queen. So you got those little photo ops as you're going too. But the tightrope walker, I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a good time. Mm-hmm. Haunted Mansion, good stuff.
Always.
Do you like Haunted more or Pirates?
Oh,
That's always the question that I always see.
Haunted
Mansion. Okay.
Haunted. However, what's weird is when I haven't ridden both for a very long time, for some reason I miss Pirates more, but Haunted Mansion is my go-to.
I feel like we go on Haunted Mansion more. I feel
We
like
absolutely
that's
do.
why.
We absolutely do.
Pirates is the line's never too long, but it's always an investment because the line's always the ride's long itself.
The ride, yeah, and then a lot of the time you end up getting stuck in that traffic jam, and it takes you just as long as the ride to actually exit the ride.
You're usually, at Disneyland at least.
Yes.
At Disney World, you can shave off 6 or 7 minutes of the ride. But at Disneyland, I feel like you got to invest a full hour if you're going to go on Pirates on a busy day or normal day.
Easily. Absolutely. And not even a busy day because you could be waiting 45 plus minutes on a busy day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, moving on over to Epcot. The Food and Wine Festival is starting very soon, July 27th. It runs all the way through November 14th. That seems long.
Does this even count as a festival?
That's a season.
I'm sorry, but when your festival's
2
half a
seasons.
year, it's just part of Epcot.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry, but Food and Wine is Epcot. That's what Epcot is. It's the food and wine park.
Yes.
Because then as soon as that's over, you got the holiday treats. Then you got the Festival of the Arts. So you got different treats. And then you got, and then you have Flower and Garden. So you got more treats. And then it's back to food and wine. It's always a festival at Epcot.
Yeah, this feels very long though, but
it's just what they do when there's no other festival going on.
yeah, and I
They
guess
just call it food and wine.
there's over 50 new dishes. Not that I've ever had any of them whatsoever, so they'd
We've
all
had
be
the
new to
cheese.
me.
We've had cheese.
We've had cheese. Yes, I've had cheese.
At the Farts Festival. Festival of the
I
Arts.
hate that they call it that. Can I just
Why?
say, because
It's just an abbreviation.
anyways,
It's your fault your mind goes there.
it is my fault. And the Muppets are joining the festival this year at the Brewing Lab, so count me out. I hate the Muppets. Next.
I like the Muppets.
I know. I have a thing about puppets. I never liked puppets growing up, even though I watched Mr. Rogers. I don't understand.
You're weird.
But the Muppets, I loved the Muppet Babies growing up because it was animated. But the actual Muppets, I don't know. Those puppets freak me out. I did finally watch the Muppets Haunted Mansion movie though. Mm-hmm. That was kind of recent, right? That we watched that.
I think it was last year.
Yeah. And it wasn't, I wasn't having like panic attacks watching, so that was good. Because I literally had like a phobia of puppets, like at a certain age. So the Muppets are still kind of meh for me. Anyway, final piece of news, and this is really exciting for me personally. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be available for streaming on Disney Plus beginning August 2nd. So we did go to the movies and watch this, but Guardians is my jam. It is my favorite Marvel movie series, period. I love everything about it. I've been a Rocket fan since day one, and not to give anything away, but I knew a bit of the backstory for Volume 3 going into it. From some stupid video game that I played, and I am not a gamer, but I bought this particular Guardians of the Galaxy video game several years ago because that's how much I love Guardians. So I'm excited for it to be on Disney Plus so I can watch it all the time. But it is the worst soundtrack. Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's our podcast. We can say whatever we want.
So in that case,
We
hit
can
that
talk
explicit button.
We can talk about whatever.
No, I hated this soundtrack compared to 1 and 2. It was nowhere near. It was not in the same playing field whatsoever.
I agree. Yeah.
But that's it. That's all the news that we got.
Cool.
Because I'm not going further back than a couple of days ago. Like, we're not going 2 months back.
Yeah. Sorry if we missed anything, guys.
I'm sure we did, but I'm sure you already know about it. So don't worry.
I mean, I don't know. I really haven't heard about much. I know Disney World's like super empty right now because of the heat and just the
and
summer.
everybody hates Ron DeSantis.
No.
That's my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, he did get elected governor in Florida, so not everyone hates it.
Like I said before, there's a lot of idiots in the world.
Anyways. Disney World, it's super low crowds due to the heat and also just summer. So if you do want to experience the world with no lines, now's a good time to go.
And no makeup and no hair and absolute misery and the humidity.
I'm cool.
Oh,
I'm good.
Good for you. That's going to really suck when Jackson is like school age and we can't take him out of school just to go to Disney World because we're not going to be those shitty parents.
Would
right?
that mess up my facial?
Anyways, that's going to be horrible when it's like you can either go during the busiest time of the year, Christmas break, or you can go in the summer. Like, Christmas break is going to win every
Hopefully
time.
we're going to live on the East Coast so we can just go on weekends.
That's true.
Weekends,
Yeah,
and we
that's
don't have to
true.
worry about it too much.
Yep.
Because I refuse to go spring break. I'm down to maybe try Christmas. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or the holidays.
And we could mix it in with like his birthday. Like
Summer, I'm down to go. But it depends on his school. If like he's like one of those schools that like get off the first week of May,
Like in May.
we can go then.
That's
like
true.
first week. But then, anyway, sorry guys,
several years out.
we're just blabbing. Our topic today,
We have a topic.
We're gonna have more topics. I'll give you a topic next week again. I promise.
Next week. Listen to that, very fluidly.
All right, so I decided, since we're DVC members, whenever we stay at a DVC resort, I want to do a top 3, the best 3, and the worst 3 of the resort we're staying at. So our last DVC stay, our only DVC stay so far has been Grand California. So I want to talk about the worst 3 things about staying at Grand California and the top 3 things about staying at Grand California. Should we go worst first or best first?
Absolutely worst first.
I agree.
Worst. We'll go 3 to 1. Like the third worst thing all the way to the absolute worst thing. Right?
Okay, so yeah, so like
3 to 1. 3, 2, 1.
yeah, so like this sucks to wow,
This
this really
really
sucks
sucks.
to like this is effing horrible. All right. Go.
Give me my money back. Okay, so worst, number 3. I'm saying the price.
We're
if-
probably going to get the same stuff, by the way.
God, I hope not. I tried to
course
like
we are.
change it up a little bit.
All right, go.
Anyways, number 3 for me is the price, or if you're a DVC member, I guess the points or availability of the room. DVC wise, Grand Californian has like the least amount of availability. So we are lucky enough that we're just a state away and a quick-ish drive, that we're able to kind of be flexible with our dates so we can stay at the Grand Cal. However, once we move to Chicago, Philly, wherever we end up, we are not going to have that same luxury. We're going to need to actually be able to plan our trips in advance. And then if you're staying there just as a regular hotel guest, which we have also done, we did this on the reopening of COVID. Like when they reopened after COVID, we stayed that first night at the Grand Californian, and we went to Disneyland reopening day. And that was like cheaper prices, I believe. And I think we still paid like $750 for one night of like a very basic studio with no view.
Yeah.
So expensive. Like, and it's not like you're in like this glamorous room. Like, it's a tiny little studio. But that's my number 3.
All right. My number 3 is the rooms are outdated. These rooms need a big refurbishment, especially the DVC rooms. I do know that the hotel rooms got one not too long ago. It's still not like the best, not, $800 worth for a regular hotel room. But the DVC rooms definitely need a nice refurb. I know it is kind of scheduled. I know there's rumbles going around that it already should have, but I think 2024 these DVC rooms are getting a big refurbishment. The carpet's just stained. Some things are falling apart.
There's no lighting whatsoever.
The lighting's really bad.
In the studios, it's really bad.
The studios are bad. The 1-bedrooms aren't as bad. They're stayed
decent, yeah.
in a studio and a 1-bedroom. I also think it just depends on where your room is in the resort as well. It's outdated, but thankfully it is getting a refurb in 2024, latest 2025, and the rooms I'm sure will look great because all the DVC rooms have been getting a really nice refresh and
no carpet. Good. They look wonderful. I need to add on to that, and just from the actual hotel stay, so I believe that they were refurbed after we had stayed, like recent-ish, right, for the hotel. I was not impressed. I still thought that it was lackluster.
Yeah, I don't like the hotel rooms at all. I wouldn't pay that much money to stay in the hotel side. So
unless the only reason that I would is if it's like my only opportunity to go and it is Christmas time, because that resort at Christmas time, that hotel, so good. So good.
It is.
But
good.
You can also just go and hang out in the lobby for free. So maybe not. I might take that back.
Yeah, no, those rooms aren't worth the price at all. Yeah, I'd only stay if we were staying on our DVC points.
For sure. All right, my number 2 is the parking. The parking is awful here. If you are not planning to valet, which we have done every single time because it is literally so convenient, you have to go across the street towards like downtown Disney and park over there. And then if you want to come to the hotel after you park, and let's say you're not using, bell services or anything to take your luggage, you have to drag your luggage across the street where cars are driving, like literally an actual street, not just like a Disney street. It is an actual road in the city of Anaheim that you have to cross. And it's so dumb. The parking is ridiculous. Why is there not a parking structure on site? I know they've got some underground parking, but it's not a lot. We were able to park there when we stayed after the COVID reopening. And I think only because it was such a minimal amount of people were allowed to stay at that hotel that they were able to open up that parking area to the guests, or like you were guaranteed a spot there probably because it was such a small capacity being booked. Otherwise, no. Like we pulled up and I had told Tony, I was like, we should do valet, right? Because I knew that the parking was across the street. Tony's like, no, we're fine. We're just going to do the regular standard parking. I'm like, are you kidding? Like we have a cooler with, the baby's milk in it and everything. This was our first day, I think, with Jackson. And you ended up driving away and driving back and you're like, never mind. I'm not parking that far. We will valet.
Yeah, I felt like a real doofus after that. I was all trying to be macho.
We're good. We're not paying those valet prices.
I'm going to give you $40 extra to park my car. Then when you see how far it is, the guy's
you're like, take my money.
Well, the cast members even like, are you sure, sir? So if
you have a baby and a stroller and...
If you're going to stay there, just plan on valet parking.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you don't need your car. And even if you do, it's not like valet takes forever to get your car. Valet getting your car for you, if you actually need to leave in your car, is going to be a lot quicker than walking to where you parked your car.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, you won't even get charged for valet like we did. We have not gotten charged for valet either time. And I don't know if it's a DVC member thing.
or what. But whatever. Our
Cool.
luck will run out eventually, but for now, we haven't gotten charged for the valet parking.
My number 2 is room inventory. This is kind of more towards your DVC side, DVC member thing. This resort has the lowest amount of DVC rooms. So if you're trying to stay on DVC points, it
Good
is
luck.
hard. It's also one of the smaller hotels too, but that's on Disney property at Disneyland. So you got the soon-to-be Pixar Pier. Is that what we're calling it? Pixar.
I don't think so, because that's Pixar Pier is at DCA.
Pixar Hotel.
Sure.
The Disneyland Hotel. Then you have this one. So this hotel still does have the least amount of inventory. So on those busy weekends, holiday weekends, it's probably still going to be your hardest hotel to book a room at.
100%. And I just need to put this out there. If you're debating between Disneyland Hotel or the Pixar Hotel, once it becomes Pixar, right now it's still the Paradise Pier or whatever it is, I would absolutely not stay at Disneyland Hotel. Stay at the Pixar one. Anyways, my worst number 1. So this is kind of a jumble of a couple of things that all fit into one for me. Ready?
Yeah.
The food options, like quick service type meals, and the merch availability. So basically like the quick little stores that you want to go into. If you've been to Disney World, you are so spoiled with what they have available for you. A lot of the resorts have, like this cafe style, like cafeteria style, quick service meals and things like that. The California hotels don't have that. And the Grand Californian really doesn't have any kind of like quick service type option that's available for you to just walk up and grab something that's going to be fulfilling for any kind of a meal. And then the merch, they've got one little store, and within that store also they've got like, the any kind of toiletries that you might want, or, grabbing water or snacks or something. It is so small. It is so small, and there is not a whole lot of merch to be like looking at or wanting to buy, which is great for your wallet. But if you need like those toiletries or those snacks for your room, there's really not a lot to choose from. And for me, that is, I don't know, I guess staying at Disney World and then staying at Disneyland, it's so different. The convenience at Disney World is just top notch. There's so much convenience there. You can find tampons. You can find everything you need. I don't think that there were tampons at, like, I'm just saying, like, these are just things that you need when you go on vacation. It's like, oh crap, I forgot it's that time of the month, or I forgot my toothpaste or something. They didn't have those things there that I could see. And that's my number 1.
Man.
How are you going to top tampons, Tony? The availability of tampons.
I'm going to top tampons with a little money.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. My number 1's the price. You already covered it. It is very expensive if you are booking the hotel rooms. I will give you guys a little advice. If you are booking here, I would highly suggest being a little flexible with your dates, going on the DVC rental page or website, dvcrental.com, I believe, and trying to rent points. You will get a DVC.
This is not an ad. We don't get any money. Just saying.
No, we do.
No, we don't.
We get lots of money from DVC rental.
Yeah, sure.
Go there, try to rent your points, or try to rent some points, and then if you like it enough, maybe you'll want to sign up for DVC or something like that. It is a good option. It is cheaper than staying at the hotel, and you'll be able to, check out what the DVC villas are all about. I highly suggest it. You'll save about 25-30% on your trip.
You sound like a frickin' commercial.
Cool.
Like, we're really not. But no, I was very anti-DVC.
No, I am.
Okay, stop. I was very anti-DVC prior to buying, and even like after buying, I kind of had buyer's remorse where I was like, oh my God, why did I do this? We've been able to go 3 times and stay at Grand California. We were able to stay in a 1-bedroom for one of the trips, the entire trip. And it's just been the amount of money. I've done the math before. I don't have it on hand, but the amount of money that we would have spent to stay at Grand Californian on the hotel side if we were paying cash, it's ridiculous. We have almost paid for our actual initial contract of points. When I think about it that way, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like we've almost paid for probably about half of the contract, maybe a bit more. And that's just 1 year of being DVC people, like DVC owners.
And we have a Disney World trip coming up on top of that.
We do. And we have another contract that we added on to that now because we're like, this is great. But yeah, so going over to the best, the 3 best of staying at Grand Californian, I almost said Grand Californian Adventure.
I know you did.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I'm not messing up this time.
I know it's
I
all
always mess it up.
me.
I always call the Grand Californian
No, you usually call it the
DCA, California Adventure.
Yeah, I think you always call it like staying at DCA. I'm like, we have never stayed at DCA. That would be awesome if we could.
Number 3, the best.
Number 3, the best. This is I don't think that we're gonna have the same 3. We might have like one of the same. My number 3 is comfortable beds. Like this, they actually have a very comfortable bed there. To the point that, and actually I think that all Disney properties, at least at Anaheim, do. Disneyland Hotel was really comfortable. It's been a while since I stayed at the Pixar to Be Hotel. But to the point that I actually like undid the bed sheet to try to see like, ooh, what kind of mattress is this? Because I know Tony and I are approaching like 10 years on our mattress that we purchased. It was our first big purchase together. And so I know that we need to replace it. And I was like, I should see what mattress Grand Californian uses because I sleep like why do people say you sleep like a baby? I sleep like a husband on those mattresses. Definitely
Sleep.
not a baby because they don't sleep, at least not ours. So yeah, the comfortable beds, that is so key, especially after doing 20, 30, 40,000 steps at the park. You need a comfortable bed.
That's very true. The bed is comfortable. I feel like I haven't slept on a Disney bed that's not comfortable, though. Disneyland Hotel's not that comfortable.
No, not compared to Grand Cal. Grand Cal is the best by far, I would think.
They really do have a nice bed. I enjoy it. My number 3 is the cast member experience.
Ooh,
I have
good.
never been somewhere at Disneyland, Disney World, anywhere where the guest service is a 10 out of 10. I'm going to tell you, these people, these cast members, they just have something. When you're there, you are relaxed. They take care of you. From the moment you pull up to the valet, you know you are taken care of. We've had no problems when we order room service. Nothing but the greatest experience. They come into your room. They lay out the spread. They tell you where the ketchup, where the tomatoes were grown. It is a beautiful experience.
That's true. And actually,
They don't really do that.
yeah, I'm just saying that's true that the cast members are fantastic. I need to first off bring attention to one thing with the room service. They're always very like, joyful and like, oh, hello, I have your room service. And anytime that we're like, oh, we have a sleeping baby, like we had the studio when we were staying in the studio. And we're like, oh, we have a sleeping baby. And they were so quiet and gently putting things down. I'm like, thank you so much. Please don't wake my baby. You're wonderful. But I do need to give a specific shout out because we have had him twice now. The first time he was in such a great mood. The second time I think he was kind of down on his luck, but he was still very nice and very enjoyable. There is a bell service, like a valet it's bell service, right? I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, and I believe he's from Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
And he has been just wonderful. We've had him at least twice. I think maybe even 3 times, but we've had him twice for sure. And he is just always very, very kind. And I don't know, there's something about like the bell service guys there especially that are just so like nice. And like you always get that weird, awkward, like small talk type moment because you're waiting for your car or they're in your room grabbing your bags. With Tony, we ain't got none of that. It's always just like fluid conversation. We're just talking. It's flowing.
Tony's a nice guy. There's also another guy named Hector I'd like to give a shout out to. We're just going to give shout outs now.
Who's Hector?
He was the first bell service guy we ever had there, and he's the one that told me when you go to the DVC villas, go up to the roof. You can watch World of Color from the roof.
Which we didn't do.
We didn't do. We had a baby. We will do it eventually. But hey, if you guys ever want a date night, don't want to go to the parks, or it's like your first night there and you just want to do something cool, grab some food to go at downtown Disney. Go inside the Grand Cal. Go up, find out where the villa rooms are. Take that elevator up.
Take that elevator up. Say Tony sent you.
Watch Hector.
No, but you're Tony though.
Oh, I am Tony. Go up there.
Tony and Hector sent me.
Go up there, with someone special. Put your arm around her or him, and
Boy, I hope I find somebody special to take up there.
share a pretzel and watch some World of Color.
Share a pretzel.
Enjoy yourself.
You're gonna bring your Wetzel's pretzel.
Bring some Wetzel pretzel. Get the little bite bit ones. Don't get just the big pretzel. Get the bite bit so you can dip it in the nacho cheese and feed each other.
No. Get the cream cheese. I'm a
Nacho
cream
cheese?
cheeser with my pretzels.
Boy, their nacho cheese is really good though.
I don't know if it's nacho or if it's like cheddar, because I can taste any kind of spice and it does not taste spicy to me at all.
Number 2.
Number 2 is the ambiance for me. So Grand Cal, there is just this like wildernessy, lodgy, cabiny type feel that regardless of the season, it feels like you're on like a mountain and it's, I don't know, like in Lake Tahoe maybe, where it's like, is it snowing outside? Am I here for a ski trip, or am I here for like a lake trip because it's the summer? But regardless, it is just a beautiful, the lobby is just so beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The rooms need updating. The rooms need some work. But if you're not staying there, I would highly, highly suggest at least stopping in the lobby. It is very relaxing. It's a great place to go and just like plug your phone in if you need to charge it. They've got a piano player there. They've got a fireplace going. They've got really great bars there, like a little outdoor area to sit for the bar. It's just, I just love this hotel. I love the look of it. I love the layout of it. The ambiance is number 2 for me.
Number 2 for me are the food options. I think there are a lot of great food options. I do.
What?
Craftsman Bar and Grill.
Ugh.
Love it. Nice restaurant, poolside. You can hang out, watch everyone have a good time. Everyone knows I like water. I'm a big water guy, so when I see the water slide and I'm eating, I could like to enjoy my water.
I'd like to watch the kids go down the water slide.
I do. It brings me joy. I like seeing people have fun. I like seeing families have a good time while I eat a pizza.
It reminds you of what could have been.
Well, and the food's really good. I also enjoy the Storytellers Cafe. It's a nice character breakfast they have.
When have you been? No, I got to keep you honest.
I've
when
been
have
there.
you been to Storytellers Cafe for breakfast?
I've never been there for breakfast,
Thank you.
but we always walk past it. I know what it is. It's eggs, it's Mickey waffles, and it's other crap that every other buffet
And hopefully
has.
no food poisoning like Goofy's Kitchen.
There's no difference between any of the... There's little teeny differences
There's
between each
cleanliness.
buffet.
There is cleanliness at Storybook.
And yes, there you go. That's why I
Or
like it.
Storyteller, whatever.
I love the room service. I think the room service is probably the best food you will get on Disney property. At Disneyland. Quality-wise.
No.
Yes.
No. Our last episode, no, I'm keeping you honest again. Our last episode, we were complaining about how we ordered
The breakfast burritos.
The breakfast burritos. You were like, wasn't that great? I thought it was fine.
It wasn't as good as I remember, but that's fine.
Right, but we also ordered the desserts that night, and both desserts sucked. Not good.
That's fine. I've had 3 different meals from room service there, and they've all been good.
I mean, as far as room service goes, yeah, sure, it's probably the best one for sure, but I wouldn't say it's the best food
On Disney property. Disneyland property, yeah.
You think it's better than like Cafe Orleans or
Disneyland
Lamplight
food's...
Lounge?
I'm sorry, but Disneyland food's not that great. Like, look, I like it, but I know what it is. It's cheap theme park food. That's what it is. Like, no matter how much you try to make it look different...
I wish y'all could see my face right now.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because
is there a lawyer out there,
No.
a divorce attorney?
Disneyland used to have good food until it got overcrowded, and all it is getting people in and out within 15 minutes. It has gone downhill, the food. I'm not a big fan of any of the food there, like sit-down food. I'll enjoy a churro. I'll enjoy a pretzel. I like Lamplight Lounge, but it's not because the food's amazing. It's just a place to get some drinks and hang out. None of the food's that great. I can make better food at home.
No, you can't. I've seen the food you make. You could not. You're going to heat a little Morningstar vegan sausage.
I'm sorry, but I just don't think the food's that good. I think people get up in their own head that they're at Disney and the food's good. It's not great. None of it's great.
No. I absolutely agree with you that overall, like, Disney food is overhyped. However, I can't. No. The room service from Grand Cal is not better than a 3-cheese Monte Cristo.
It is 100. I would pick that breakfast burrito any day over a 3-cheese Monte Cristo.
I would pick the 3-cheese Monte Cristo any day over you. How's that?
That's fine. Find a lawyer. I don't care.
Just kidding. A lawyer that grants me a 3-cheese Monte Cristo in the divorce.
All right, we got to get going. What's your number one?
Oh man, that's interesting.
We're probably both going to agree on number one. So
absolutely. So we might as well just talk about it. It's going to be the access to DCA, the park proximity.
Location,
absolutely.
baby.
Absolutely. If you have never stayed at Grand Californian, or if you are just a noob to Disneyland period and you don't know, there is an access point from the hotel, from Grand Californian, directly into DCA. It takes you out right next to the Rapids ride.
Yeah. Grizzly Rapids.
Yes, and it's always such a quick entry, even in the early morning hour. Like, it looks like it's going to be, you get that early entry. And you line up and you're like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. It really doesn't. You zoom through that line in 10 minutes. Easy.
If you want to be the first one in that line, honestly, guys, I think they let you in at like 7:30. You need to be lined up at like 6:30.
Yeah. To be the first. But even so, it has only taken us like 10 minutes to get
roll
through.
In about 7.
Yeah.
Like a half hour before.
Yep. It's so worth it. And even if you're not staying at Grand Cal, we do this all the time where we'll still use that entryway. You can still use it if you're not a hotel guest, not for the early entry, obviously, because you have to be a hotel guest to enter the park early. But if you're just like at the hotel, you're, eating food or enjoying the lobby, you can enter into DCA using that entry. You can also exit into Grand Californian using that entry, even if you are not a hotel guest. It is something that no other Disney property has to offer at all. And it is so convenient and perfect.
It is top notch. It is convenient. And it's also the downtown Disney entrance and exit's very convenient too. It lets you out right by a Starbucks, and it's perfect for early in the morning if you have to go to Disneyland instead of DCA. Or, like I said, if you want to get your Wetzel pretzel on.
It's actually, it's not right next to the Starbucks. It's but a very short jaunt to the Starbucks.
Where does it bring you in at? I thought it was a Starbucks.
It's right next to the dress shop, and is that Sephora on the other side?
Sephora, yeah, that's
so
right.
I believe you're going out you're right next to Wetzel's Pretzels too. Like, you go left and you can go to Wetzel's Pretzel, you can go to Marceline's.
Yeah.
And if you go right, then you just have to pass like that Billabong looking shop. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of surf shop. And then you get to the Starbucks right there. So you can mobile order in the morning if you're doing your early entry over at Disneyland instead, because unfortunately there's no, direct entry into Disneyland. But you just go through, downtown Disney. You stop over at Starbucks, pick up your mobile order. You walk over to Disneyland. You walk down Main Street with your extra large venti Americano in hand, and all is right in the world.
Location. All right.
Location.
I think that's it for tonight, guys. That was a pretty long episode.
It was.
It was a good one.
And I still have a little bit of wine left.
That's the same. You took my wine away. Why?
I didn't. It's right there.
You moved it, though.
So that it didn't fall off the table.
Oh.
I could just see it because you talk with your hands, and I could just see it splattering everywhere, and it was going to be a mess that I had to clean up. So I was just like, let me just move it over a couple inches.
Well, gee golly. Thanks.
You're welcome. If you don't already, find us on Instagram, Mouse Park Insider, and follow us. But please, really, subscribe to the show. Please give us a 5-star rating. If you're going to give us anything less than 5 stars, just keep going. Just leave it alone. Just don't do anything. But yeah, we are Mouse Park Insider. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you or talk to you the next time we record, which Tony says is next week. So we'll see.
Next week. I'm not even going to put this recording stuff away. I'll see you guys soon.
Sorry, folks. I'm sure to do better next time. It was my first flight, and I'm still getting used to my programming. Hey! Hey!